Hey, what up, though? This is Mongo Slade, and today we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite New Year Smash Day 2, which took place on January the 13th, 2021. Um, this was not, this was a, I'm stupefied after watching that show, because this is like textbook how to bury a big guy. But it's gonna be a while before we get there because I got a lot of shit to go over. But just say this is textbook how you bury a big dude. Textbook. Anyway, first match is Pac versus Eddie Kingston. Pac defeats Eddie Kingston. I was the match was fine, I guess. Other than it seemed like Eddie Kingston might have been legitimately hurt. But whatever. And I was kind of weirded out by the end. But I was also weirded out at the beginning because Pac was angry that Eddie Kingston took the Lucha Brothers from him because they were the only two guys he respected in the world. And I said, that's dumb because he didn't really take them if you were trapped in England. And then why are we fighting over these guys again? Are they like the kids in the divorce? And like they ran off and got a stepdad, and all of a sudden you was like, ain't nobody gonna call my kids daddy but me. It's like, what the hell? These are grown ass men. Now it'd have been like cool if you'd have came back and they were like, man, we don't fuck with you like that. Then it'd been a little bit different. But as soon as he came back, that's when Eddie Kingston started trying to break him up or whatever. But I like Pac. I am a big fan of Pac. He is a smaller guy, but he's yoked, so he looks good. He's very, very aggressive. So I really like him. Pac got his chest chopped to smithereens in this joint. His shit looked like diaper rash across the chest. It was crazy. And Eddie Kingston's one of the motherfuckers that watched a lot of '90s All Japan, and now he think he's Kenta Kobashi or something like that. He's just gonna start chopping people to death. That's really his only offensive hold, if we being honest, is he chops, 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 and then does a back flip, does a back fist. But Eddie Kingston is a great character, but I don't know. I think we need to limit his ring time. And this match was way too long, as far as I'm concerned. He could have beat this guy in half the time. So after he wins the match clean with the Black Arrow, he uses the Brutalizer on Eddie Kingston. And I was kind of like, after the match, like, that's not something a babyface would do. Why would you do that? And then the heels come in the ring, obviously, to save Eddie Kingston because he's being, destroyed by this guy. And then Lance Archer comes running to the ring. Why? The baby faces were okay. They were outnumbered. Well, the heels were outnumbered. Eddie Kingston was beat the hell up. So it's technically 2.5 on 3. They didn't really need another person. So then Lance Archer comes out and he gets into Pac's face after the heels run off, and he tells Pac that they need to get on the same page. I'm like, why? 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 Why do they need to get on the same page? Why are they in the same book? Why is Lance Archer involved in this? Can somebody explain this to me? This cannot be because of a fucking battle royal from like 4 months ago. It can't be. That's stupid. That would be dumb. That would be dumb if that was the case. It was foolish. So the reasoning for it was flimsy, but match was fine. So Chuck Taylor versus Miro. Miro wins the match. The match was kind of short. I liked that they kept the camera on Miro's facials to show how he was trying to be crazy. And, they announced Chuck Taylor as the Kentucky Gentleman, which just sounds like he fingers pigs. Is really strange. Miro spits water during his entrance now, so I guess, the Triple H references never seem to end on Dynamite. I think Triple H might as well. I think he's the sole reason why a lot of these people exist. So Chuck Taylor got some offense in, but it didn't seem like he got in a lot. Maybe because I zoned out a little bit So I don't know how much offense he did, but I know he bumped Miro a couple of times. Then he did a flying thing over the top rope, but it was mostly Miro destroying him. And then Miro just wins with the camel clutch. And so now they've changed the language that now Chuck Taylor has to be Miro's butler. Now they did use the word young boy, which I think is actually more appropriate because it fits in the whole Trent, and they was talking about Japan and all that type of stuff. And but they changed it to butler, so whatever. But what really threw me for a loop is that Miro was giving the crazy eyes to Orange Cassidy, and Orange Cassidy is just like flat affect. Just flat. Just there's kind of there's a bit of a confusion, a little bit of slight agitation, but nothing major. Like no real response to one of his friends having to be a slave to this guy for the next month. Like you would god damn, can we get some emotion in this motherfucking feud, please? Cause somebody act like Miro's trying to get, he's got the crazy eyes and he's snarling. But Chuck Taylor is a goof and Orange Cassidy is a goof, and it's all coming across very goofy. It's not coming across like people are doing serious shit here. And that really bums me out because this could have been fun. 'Cause I was remembering when David Von Erich did a similar storyline with Jimmy Garvin, and he had Jimmy Garvin out on the farm with Sunshine, and they were carrying bales of hay and all that type of stuff, man. And Garvin complained the entire time, and Sunshine whined, "Oh, I don't want to do this." Like they were real. They were heels, but they had like real natural reactions. And then you got these guys today who are mimicking those old storylines, and they just got dudes just standing there like limp waffles. It's horrible shit, man. It's trash. Then we get to one of the most confusion angles of the night. Private Party, Private Party and Matt Hardy. So Matt Hardy interrupts the promo, says, "I get to speak first," and then he pretty much gets to throw to them. He didn't have anything to say. And then they talk about, "Oh yeah, it would be great to try to sign with Matt Hardy. He's a tag team special. He's a legend. You would be fool not to tag team with Matt Hardy." Then Mark Quinn is talking. He's like, "But I can't do this no more, man. I can't do this no more. You talking about 30%?" And then Matt's like, "Yeah, 30%. I take 30% of your money." And he was like, "Man," and they just started arguing about this and about the third party stuff. And I just looked and I was like, "What is going on?" And so he Mark Quinn called Matt Hardy a money grabbing carny, and he's like, "The disrespect." Like I'm the only one that ever cared about you guys. But I learned, and he gave the exact date of, I think All Out it was, I think when he got injured, and he says, "Nobody really cares about you." And then he flipped and said, "Well, when I say you jump, you say how high." And I was like, they literally signed this contract last week. And we're not going to build up to Matt Hardy snapping, and like we could put some effort behind that and say, okay, well, we're going to build up to Matt being disingenuous and being a prick and changing the terms of the contracts and stuff like that, where, now he's going to frustrate Private Party. But now it seems like, oh, everything was sweet just a week ago. And now they're like, oh, 30%, man, that's too high. Like, it was too high when he said it. Like, what's... And then why do you need an agent? What do you need an agent for? You already got the contract. So I never understood that. Like, you already got the contract to AEW. What is the agent? Like, specify the reason you need an agent, right? Like, there are certain things, like when I talked about managers, valets, agents, all these types of people, I said it and I meant it. These folks have specific jobs. Like a valet handles the way you look. So if you're a wrestler, you would have a valet. Your valet will handle your grooming, whether your beard is right, your hair, clothes, stuff like that, your boots, trunks, stuff like that. Your manager will handle your business dealings. What's your pay like? Is this the match you want? Match quality, match stuff, yada, yada, yada. Is that what Matt Hardy is doing? Is he an agent / manager or is he like their representative? Because if he's their quote unquote representative, who is he representing them to? Who is he discussing with? Like, what's going on here? Are there contracts on the way out or something like that? Like, build a real reason for this Matt Hardy character to exist, or for the necessity for it. And then you can start building up about how Matt, kind of tricked these guys into this contract instead of just, giving them sheets of paper and then they signed them like idiots, and that was kind of it. You could have just told the story of Matt basically saying, hey, you guys want a title shot? I can get you guys a title shot. Sign this paper, and then they magically become the number one contenders. And then they get the title shot, they lose. And then Matt's got them trapped under this contract. Like, that would be so much better, like, that would be sweet. Because that would have been, Matt pulling some strings or whatever to get them a title match. They got the title match and they lost. But now they're stuck with this contract. They have to keep paying him 30% of the money or whatever. And then over time, he just becomes a greedy money grubbing carny. But he seemed to become a greedy money grubbing carny in 7 days. It was just rushed. That was my problem with it. It was like, not only because Matt Hardy is just doing weird shit, but it's because it's rushed. They didn't put any TLC into this storyline. So we get the Inner Circle New Year's resolutions, and it was silly. Jake Hager wants titles. Ortiz wants to cook better. MJF says fat people got to go, and he wants to strengthen the bond of the Inner Circle. Jericho wants to win the tag team titles with MJF. And then Santana, and I like this, Santana got offended by that. Santana was like, no. Me and Ortiz are the tag team of the Inner Circle. We're the tag team. You're trying to butt in into our space. Like, you wanted to be the world champion. You want to be that guy. That's your space. Santana and Ortiz are the tag team. That's our space. And then Sammy Guevara gets a microphone and talks, or what he calls talking. And he called Jericho a tag team slut. That you were tag teaming with me, and we were the sex gods, and then you were tag teaming with Hager, and now you're tag teaming with MJF. I mean, I saw you hanging out with Snoop Dogg. I mean, you got a tag team with him too? And then Jericho was like, maybe. And I was like, why? Why is it so cringe? It was cringe. But what made it even cringier is Jericho suggesting that they all fight each other to see who is the tag team of the official tag team of the Inner Circle. So 2 weeks ago, they said they weren't going to fight anymore. The very next week, Hager is fighting Wardlow. And then the week right after that, now they have agreed to all fight each other, where Sammy and Hager are going to be partners. MJF and Jericho are going to be partners. And Santana and Ortiz are going to be partners. And they're all going to fight each other in a 6-man triple threat match. And the winning team is going to be the official tag team of the Inner Circle. That's stupid. That's stupid. Let me repeat it again. That's stupid. It's stupid as fuck. All you literally have to do is for Jericho to say, you know what, I'm not trying to butt into y'all space. But hey, me and MJF got good chemistry. You guys have kind of fallen off. Let's make a bet. See who can become the tag team champions first. Put some money on it, like he did with Christian that one time, right? Where they wanted to see which one of them could score with Trish Stratus or whatever the hell, and sell like $10,000 to the first team of the Inner Circle that can win the tag team titles. And then you have all three of these teams basically competing against each other without actually fucking fighting each other. Like, how much different would that would have been a lot more fun. That would have made every tag team match they were in more interesting, because we know that Santana and Ortiz are not only competing with every other tag team and with their opponents, they're also competing with the other members of Inner Circle to see who is going to be the highest on the rankings. And then when they get a tag team title match or something like that, it will be doubly important because they want to be the tag team of the Inner Circle and they want to be the tag team champions. But what we get is all of these guys want to fight. Stupid. So we move on to more stupid. Evil Uno, of the Dark Order. Everything that they do now will be in service to Brody Lee. And so they said they will be teaming up with Hangman Page again. And then John Silver is just goes full mark for Hangman Page. And he's so excited to see him. And he said, I love you so much. I love you. Like, man, go wash his fucking underwear if you love him so much. And then you got, they're like, when are you going to join us? And then they started saying, like, oh, well, at the end of the segment, they figured out he's going to say next week whether he really likes or he wants to join the Dark Order or not. 9 times out of 10, he won't join the Dark Order, of course. And it's going to be absolute silliness and probably lead to a feud between him and the Dark Order. Or he'll join the Dark Order and nobody will care. Nobody cares about this shit. Like, the Dark Order, anybody only cared about them because of Brody Lee. And now Brody Lee's gone, So they can try to hold on to that as much as they want. But it didn't work for Chavo Guerrero. It ain't going to work for them. So we get the backstory for Taz being, in Darby Allin, which was whatever. It's been going on for a long time, I guess. So that's cool. So then we get Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. They show up in the back. They all about to go out there and have this match. And Don Callis tells the Young Bucks, like, you guys wait here. I love your theme song. You guys wait here. The opponents are already in the ring. So then we get Kenny Omega's big, long introduction. And then Don Callis says he wants to introduce the World Tag Team Champions. And he starts talking about how these guys are Kenny Omega's best friends. And he introduces Gallows and Anderson, the World Tag Team Champions from Impact Wrestling. And the Young Bucks are watching on screen with Tony Khan. And Tony Khan has no reaction. He's not frustrated. He's not angry. He's just kind of standing there like, oh, okay, whatever. No big deal. And now the Young Bucks are a little bit more frustrated, especially Bearded Buck. He's, showing some frustration that, he feels screwed, which of course you should. So the opponents ended up being the Varsity Blondes and Danny Limelight, 3 job guys. And this match went on far too long for them to be wrestling 3 job guys. I'm telling you, man, there is nothing wrong with squashing people. There is nothing wrong with squashing folks, okay? People have to learn there's a fucking pecking order. Why are you giving these guys so much TV time? Cut this shit short. The moment Gallows got tagged in, he should have just ran all these guys over. Big boots for everybody. They hit the Magic Killer, pinned them, the end. Match should have been 3 minutes. Why? This shit felt like it was 15 minutes. I don't know how long it was, but it felt longer than it should have been. It was stupid. And then, the babyfaces definitely got too much offense in. They definitely got too much offense in. What the fuck? So then Moxley comes to the ring, and I said it's like, he's like John McClane from Die Hard. And I like that comparison. At least I hope I'm getting that character's name right. I haven't seen Die Hard in a long time, but I love the Die Hard series. It's a fantastic run of movies, especially Die Hard with a Vengeance, my favorite one. Anyway, he just swaggers to the ring and tries to fight Omega and the Good Brothers by himself because he's an idiot, and why not? I get that being brave and being ballsy is the hallmark of this type of babyface, but usually he should attack them from behind. Like, if you're going to be a Stone Cold Steve Austin, do it the right way. Attack these guys from behind, hit your finish or whatever, and, be that. But you just kind of swaggering, like swinging his arms or whatever as he walks to the ring is like, you don't take this seriously, and you don't take them seriously as a threat, which, okay, you can blow off their seriousness by, just saying, fuck it, I'm gonna beat all you guys up. That's fine. But You're just kind of volunteering for an ass whooping because the Good Brothers are kind of tough guys. They're kind of tough. Like if it was the Young Bucks, then okay, whatever. But Gallows and Anderson are kind of rugged. You know, they look like they shoot deer and stuff. So you might want to take them a little bit more seriously. So anyway, of course he gets beaten up because of course it's 3-on-1. Why wouldn't he get beaten up? So then Pentagon and Phoenix comes in to help Jon Moxley. Okay, you know, it was random, but fine, why not? The locker room, halfway empties to come out and break all of this up. It's still a big schmoz. Everybody's fighting. And then the Young Bucks come out there and, separate everybody again. And, the Young Bucks are in there trying to talk sense to Jon Moxley for some odd reason. And then Pentagon and Phoenix kicked the Young Bucks. And the Young Bucks flopped and went down. And that was all they did for the night. Omega and the Good Brothers went away. They left. So the Young Bucks turned heel just to get snaked by Kenny Omega. That is Vince Russo style booking. That's hot shotting. Okay? When you go through the trouble of turning babyfaces heel, only to then turn them right back babyface the very next week. Or theoretically turn them back babyface. Because at this point, man, I can't even keep up. All I know is Kenny Omega came out of the left side entrance, which is the heel entrance. So at least we know there's one fucking heel in this storyline. Okay? So I'm going to assume Gallows and Anderson are also heels. So there are no Hall and Nash, I can tell you that much. And anyway, so these guys come out there, but they were all together, the previous week. And then Omega snakes the Young Bucks by saying that, the Gallows and Anderson are his best friends. Okay. All right, that's fine. He's not best friends with the Young Bucks, and he's saying, they're the real world tag team champions, which I guess is what really hurt the Young Bucks is Gallows and Anderson are the real world tag team champions. Of course, we're just leading to the Young Bucks fighting Good Brothers. Okay, cool. But that's Vince Russo booking, man. We're just gonna turn these guys heel, and then we're gonna flip them right back babyface. It's like they don't know what they're doing with the Young Bucks, man. I don't think anybody cares at this point. Nobody gives a shit, bro. So then we get the Waiting Room, a Britt Baker late night talk show where she does a mixture of Oprah and Conan O'Brien and every other Jay Leno and every other talk show host, where she does the Oprah look under your seat gimmick. Then she does a monologue with Reba laughing at the side, and I actually didn't mind that part. That was actually very interesting. Like if she'd have did like a really bad Bill Maher type of impression, or like she was like sitting behind a desk or something like that doing like a monologue, that'd have been fine. She actually has the personality to pull that off. So I was with it up to that point. Her jokes were trash, but she's a heel, so it doesn't matter. She didn't have to be funny. She's supposed to be cringe. And then she calls out Cody, and things go off the rails because they're hugging on Cody. Cody is smiling, and Cody really didn't get any words out. He didn't say anything. He came out wearing this jacket like he won the GPA Masters or some shit. And then they're talking about the baby and the show. And next thing you know, Jade Cargill is out there. And Jade Cargill is like a giraffe on stilts. I mean, that girl is just like, if you remember Linda Miles, who was with the Basham brothers, she reminds me a lot of her, And Jade Cargill is still not good at talking. She's kind of stiff, like she's trying to remember what she's supposed to say. And she says that, first of all, she snatched the microphone from Cody, because of course she did. Then she says that Cody did Brandy a favor by knocking her up. But she and Shaq are tired of waiting. Where is her opponent? That Brandy should be watching her. And that she is a badass mom. And then when Brandy shows up, she's going to kick Brandy's ass. And then she shoved Cody in the face. very aggressively. She's been very aggressive and disrespectful for apparently no reason. Cody's a very nice guy, apparently. You know, he really just let this girl get some heat on him. Like, it's a little too much because that's always a Cody's thing. But he opens himself up for stuff like this because he knows he can get sympathy and shit like that. So then Red Velvet comes out, which of course that why wouldn't it be Red Velvet? It has to be Red Velvet. And Jade Cargill kind of mocks Red Velvet for being short. She kind of leaned down and Red Velvet smacked her. And then she smacked Red Velvet. And then they started fighting. And then just like in the previous segment, there's the back. Everything has the empty to pull them apart because they're fighting. They're getting at it. And they have to get separated. Then magically a clip of Britt Baker beating up Thunder Rosa appears on the screen. And Thunder Rosa is speaking Spanglish, and she's afterwards. And basically it all boils down to Tony Khan said that, he's been waiting for a big night to have this Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker match. And he's decided it's going to be at the Beach Break on February the 3rd. So, and Britt Baker is like, no. Tony said I don't have to do this. So Tony said I don't have to have that match. I don't have to wrestle you. So I'm not going to do it. I did like that. I did like that Britt Baker, being a heel, did not want to wrestle Thunder Rosa. Like, no way. What the hell am I wrestling her for? It's not going to happen. And I like that. I like that she wanted, but I think this segment was too long. I did like that. I like that they're trying to do something to show up to accentuate the Britt Baker's character and accentuate her personality. But this was too long. This was a Miz TV segment. As far as I'm concerned, this was too long. It was too long. Could have just said that Cody and Jade Cargill are going to talk, and maybe try to have Cody try to talk things out, and then Jade just wants to fight. And then maybe give a reason why Jade Cargill wants to fight Brandy so badly. Outside of the fact that Brandy just cut into her on that one time that she came out there. Because why does Shaq want to fight Cody? I don't know why does any of that stuff want to happen? I don't know. I don't know. And I actually paid attention. I pay attention and I still don't know. I don't get it. And then when Shaq was on there, he didn't say anything negative about Cody. He didn't say anything negative about Brandy. It's nonsense. They're not putting any effort into thickening up these storylines. This shit is thin as fuck. So, it was too long. Anyway, FTR versus Jurassic Express. I was like, cringe. And then I saw that the Jurassic Express was going to be Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt. And I said, fuck you. Okay? Fuck you. Now, I did listen to the new song. I heard they had a new song. Tony Khan is throwing money around. Now he done bought Jungle Boy a new song. And I really was like, that's it? You really paid money out of pocket for that song? Like, you was better off with the song that you had. If you want to be honest, at least whatever. Marco Stunt slapped Dax Harwood in the face, and I laughed. Because I was like, this is a joke. This is a joke. And then this match went too long. Like, they just really went on and on. I literally tuned out. I stopped paying attention. I don't know how long this match was, but it was too long. And I tuned out. I think I may have heard on commentary that FTR was toying with them. That's why this match was so long. But this match was still too long and it wasn't any good. This is probably the worst FTR match they've had in a long time. This match sucked. And look, I'm quite possibly biased on this tip because I don't like Marco Stunt. But I didn't enforce any rules. I didn't fast forward. I only got one rule when it comes to AEW, and that's I don't watch intergender wrestling. So if you put it on the screen, I would at least give it a shot. And this match went too long. They were dominating Marco Stunt, rubbing their forearms against his face and all kind of stuff. And I was just kind of like, this match needs to end. Okay? Fuck all this. We're just going to brutalize this young boy. Just end it. Beat him fast. That proves that you're dominant. Beat him fast. They beat the guy like they get paid by the hour. Like, you don't get paid by the hour. Beat this guy. So, in all this chicanery, we find out that Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are the number 2 contenders, and FTR the number 1 contender for the tag team titles. Not like that matters because the Young Bucks seem to be doing something else with other people. So I noticed that FTR has changed their finisher name to the Big Rig in honor of John Huber, which I think is pretty cool. I just wish they would have changed the move because I don't like how that move looks, but whatever. The next match was Tainara Kanti versus Serena Deeb for the NWA Women's Championship. And, you know, a lot of people have been tweeting. You know, I probably follow this stuff a little too closely. But everybody's been saying, like, oh my God, look how much better Tainara Kanti has gotten since she left NXT. Like, she got so much better. And basically, it's just people watching her matches and GIFs. Like, they watch her do, like, one cool kick or something like that in a GIF, and they're like, oh my God, she's so much better. It's like either that or she got so much better as soon as the ink dried on her release. And then all of us, that's what happens with WWE, right? You become so much better the moment you leave. Because I didn't see, like, she was slightly better here because she better utilized her taekwondo or judo, whatever the fuck she does. I think it's judo. She better utilized it in this match. So at least that was better. But she wasn't like light years beyond better than she was in NXT. She still looked a little bit lost. She still can't really sell. She still can't really work. You know, like she can do her stuff, but she can't work. It's like what people don't understand, man, is like when you look at New Japan, right, how they treat the Young Lions, like they limit the Young Lions moveset, right? They limit it to like a drop kick and a Boston Crab, but they're expected to sell most of the time, right? They're expected to sell most of the time, to get used to doing the non-move aspects of wrestling. That's what the Young Lion system is for. They purposefully handicapped them. You know, NXT is not the exact same thing, but that's what you focus on in NXT. You don't focus on doing moves. You're focusing on learning how to work, how to put a match together, how to work the cameras, how to work the crowd. Tainara Kanti still can't do any of that. And then even when it comes to her selling, her facial expressions aren't even there. She doesn't even have pained expressions. She has bothered expressions. Like, ow, this leg lock really kind of bothered me. Now, her shit looks good, like her judo stuff, because she's just working stuff that she actually knows how to do. So that's not really all that impressive. You know, like, it's fine, but she already knows, like, how to do this stuff legitimately. So she's just working what she knows. But her pro wrestling stuff still is not good. It still is not good. Now, Serena Deeb was actually pretty good, and it actually carried her through this match. And this match was fine. You know, this match was fine. You know, I was okay with the length of it. I was okay with, obviously, the outcome was good. I really want them to dig deeper. Like, the Tainara, Kanti, Anna Jay relationship is fine. I want them to dig a little bit deeper into that. And, you know, maybe do some vignettes of them hanging out and stuff, or trying to recruit other members, or just them, you know, posting pictures of each other on Facebook, or not Facebook, Facebook and Instagram and all that type of stuff is fine. But, you know, show me that they're actually friends, you know? And I don't know, man. It's weird to me. It comes across as two pretty women trying to be, you know, pretty together. And it's like, show me that you're actually friends and not just two pretty broads hanging out. Because you have to for storyline, you know? Whatever. And then we get to before we get to the Ultimate Burial, I didn't know we were doing a -1 birthday bash. They're actually doing a show based off of Little John Huber. I don't know what his name is. What is his name? They've been calling him -1 all this time. But apparently, Brody Lee's son, Brody Lee Jr., oh, his name is Brody. That's his name. So, especially Brody, his birthday is coming up. So I'm guessing they're going to do a birthday episode for him. And I'm like, they're kind of milking this thing now. You know, you're kind of milking it now. I'm okay with it, but if we're going to do like we need to do something, because you're kind of milking this thing now. So Darby Allin versus Brian Cage. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. If I didn't look, Look, okay. Darby Allin pinned Brian Cage. The first person to ever pin Brian Cage in AEW. And it was not what you would think. It was okay. So this match was booked fine from the beginning. Brian Cage, no, that matter of fact, I take that back because it wasn't booked fine. Brian Cage was on the mat 3 seconds into the match. Darby Allin ran across the ring, kicked Brian Cage in the knee. Brian Cage went down. One of the cardinal things when it comes to big men is that it should be hard to knock them down. He went down less than 6 seconds into the match. He was down on all fours. I don't. That should tell you what kind of situation that they're running here. When have you ever seen that? Like, you've seen people run and, like, I'm okay with the run and drop kick, but he should have grabbed the ropes or something like that, or, kind of shook that off, and then, kind of continued having to try to work that leg and try to knock him down. But for him to be knocked down immediately shows that they didn't put any thought into this. And Brian Cage apparently thinks he's the same size as Darby Allin. Because that made no sense. That was dumb. And that set the stage for how stupid this was going to get. Because it got real stupid. And Brian Cage buried the fuck out of himself in this match. He buried the fuck out of himself. It's not even because he took the pin. That's not even the problem. The problem is he threw everything in the fucking kitchen sink. And this asshole was kicking out at 1. At 1. He bench pressed him, threw him over the top rope. Did an F5, busting him open, ground and pound, triple power bomb, doing all Brock shit. He's just doing everything Brock used to do. Triple power bomb outside the ring. One counts. Every time he tried to pin him, a 1 count. And I just looked and I was like, Cage, when they came to you with this, and they said, you're going to beat on this kid for 20 minutes, about 15 minutes. You're just going to beat on him for 15 minutes. You're going to throw everything you got at him. And he's going to keep kicking out at 1. You should have said, and then I guess I'm going to take my pink slip. Because I'm fucking useless at that point. What fucking good is a shotgun that can't blow a hole through a paper bag? What fucking good is it? If you are supposed to be a huge monster of a man and you cannot beat somebody you have a 100-pound weight advantage over, you're fucking useless. You are useless. If you are a cannon that cannot blow a hole through a stack of hay, you are fucking useless. This made Brian Cage look so fucking useless. What the fuck? It does not. People think like, oh, it's a good thing because Brian Cage got all that offense. He was dominating the whole match. It's like, that's the problem. The problem is his shit's weak. If he has to powerbomb you 4 fucking times and you still won't stay down, it's not that you're tough. It's his shit is weak. His shit is weak. Apparently he's not doing enough. Apparently what he does is whack because he can't get the job done. It would have been, now there was some good spots in here, and I'm not going to say that the whole match was trash. There were some good spots in here. I like the bench press and, him launching Darby outside the ring through a table. I like that spot. I also like when he went out there, collected him, and brought him back in the ring and suplexed him back in the ring. I like that spot. I like the belt spot. I think the belt spot was ingenious. I think the belt spot should have led to the finish. How about that? That would have been so much better if Darby would have cheated. Instead of getting a fucking clean pin. Well, as clean as it was going to be. Okay? Now, if you didn't watch it, Darby took his belt off of his pants. He ducked around. This was after he had gotten power bombed and F5s and all that shit, by the way. So the placement of this made no fucking sense because the guy should have been dead, right? But if you're going to use the belt, this is how I would have done it. It would have been earlier in the match before all the big power bombs and all that shit. And I would have had, same situation. Darby is, ripping and running around Cage because he got the speed advantage. He ducks behind him, ties his legs up, and then maybe you do some type of cradle pin where, Cage's legs are caught in the belt, and then maybe have Darby Allin grab the rope and he pinned him, and he cheated. And then you can have Taz, who's already on commentary complaining because why we only got to get two guys outside there? Why we only got two guys? Oh, thank you, Coney Khan. We only got two guys. Like, how many fucking guys do Cage need to beat a fucking guy he got 100 pounds on? Shouldn't matter. This is stupid. Like, you could cheat. Let Darby cheat. Everybody would have completely understood that he needed to cheat. If this guy was 100 pounds bigger than he is, people would have understood it that you would have cheated just to get out of the match, But that's not what we got. What we got is Darby just absorbing large amounts of punishment and basically just telling Brian Cage, fuck you. He literally gave him the finger at one point in this match. After 3 power bombs, he gave him the finger. Fuck you. And I just said to myself, Brian Cage, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. You don't get it. You do not look like a monster anymore. You look like a fucking goof. You look like an idiot. You really do. This was worse. I mean, yeah, this was worse than the Moxley thing. Because the Moxley thing, at least you could say, oh, well, he had this injured shoulder and, Taz was worried about the injured shoulder. It was still stupid, but Taz was worried about the injured shoulder, so he threw in the towel. Okay, fine. In this situation, come on, bro. You hit this guy with everything. Everything. And he was kicking out at 1. And they couldn't even give you the drama of a long 2 count. Like the 1, 2. Like the commentators is like, oh, Darby's got to be finished. Darby's got to be dead. The referee need to stop this match. Oh, he kicked out at 1. He kicked out at 1. Oh, man, that Darby, he's got to be finished by now. It's like, dude, are you serious? He kicked out at 1. He ain't finished. Come on, bro. He shit on this guy. That's just, they working him. They worked Brian Cage, man. That's fucked up. So the finish came with Tony Starks. Ricky Starks interfering in the match, and then Sting, the lights went out, lights came back on. It Sting bumped Tony, we'll call him Tony Stark again. Beat, what the fuck is that kid's name? Ricky Starks. Punched him, hit him with the bat in the stomach. Well, then you had, they did the stairs spot too. Now the stairs spot is, I should back up for that. So the stairs is when Brian Cage is going to powerbomb Darby Allin on the stairs outside the ring. He puts the stairs in position, then he's going to powerbomb him, and then Allin escapes and he bit him, and he fell back onto the stairs. Now they kind of stole this idea from, of course, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, because remember they did the big stairs spot to lead to the finish in that match. And then from the top rope he did the coffin drop while Cage was out on the stairs. So that was, it was alright. But the finish came when Darby was on the second rope, and Cage is going to do a Samoan drop or an F5 or something like that off the second rope, which Darby then counters and into a crucifix pin, and Cage gets pinned. So they say, well, Cage, his weight worked against him on this because, he weighs 100 pounds, and apparently the guy who was curling, he was literally curling this guy earlier, right? But now, just a few minutes later, Darby Allin has enough body weight to pull Brian Cage from the top rope. After he was being curled, bench pressed with ease, power bombed with ease, he has enough. Look, I'm gonna give it a pass. I'm gonna give it a pass. Okay, I'm gonna say okay. He got a little bit of the weight suddenly shifted and he fell back. I I don't know, man. That was weird to me. You can't tell me that wasn't weird. This is textbook burial. They buried Brian Cage. What can you do with this guy now? What can you do with him now? You just showed me he can't beat a 5'6", 160-pound fucking midget. I don't know, man. Cage is done. Cage is done, bro. Cage is finished. You know, Cage may make a fortune. He may get paid a fortune, I should say. But he ain't gonna make it. He's gonna get paid a lot, but he ain't gonna make it shit. And what I mean by that is he ain't gonna draw no money. He ain't smart enough. He don't know when he's being buried. When he's being fucked over. I couldn't imagine you telling somebody that, oh yeah, you're gonna throw everything at this guy, and he's 100 pounds lighter than you. You're gonna throw everything at him. He's gonna kick out at one. Even when and I remember watching old Sting and Vader matches and thinking that Vader is doing a lot for a guy who's gonna do the job in this match. Like he's doing a lot. Like if he broke out the moonsault and still lost, I was like, man, Vader, what was you thinking? Like don't let him talk you into doing the moonsault and then losing. If you do the moonsault, you win. Like there should be certain things like if I do X, Y, and Z, I should win. Not just your finish, but like a big move, I should win. But I get that. I don't even know what Brian Cage's finishing move is, if we're being honest. I have no idea. I don't think he did it, but it was absolutely silly that we had to sit through this and pretend that it was going to be some huge upset. Well, not really an upset, but like a huge thing about Darby Allin, barely surviving when he was kicking out at one. He was kicking out at one. That shows that he wasn't really bothered. Dudes get a 2 count at least on a headlock. In other matches, dudes were getting 2 counts on headlocks. He gets a fucking 1 count after a triple power bomb. After an F5, he gets a 1 count. Well, I guess we never gonna have Darby Allin ever lose a match ever again, right? He can't get pinned again, because if he can survive that, he should be able to survive falling from the goddamn challenger. He should be able to get tossed from a 747 flying overhead, and that should be enough to pin him at this point. Because if he can survive all that shit, he's unstoppable. So that buried everybody. But we end the show with Sting and Darby side by side or looking at each other or whatever. Who fuck cares? This show made me tired. I got tired right around the time FTR and the Jurassic Express was on the screen. I felt bad for Brian Cage, but then again I didn't, because he's a mark and he probably just happy to be there and he don't care. So get ready for not seeing Brian Cage again for another 3 months. He's going to be working on Dark, probably beating guys in 30 seconds, and nobody cares, because whenever he gets in a real match, he loses, and then he loses in embarrassing fashion. There are ways, again, like I've said, of making these things exciting. Look at what all you got to do is copy what WWE did with Brock. That's all you got to do. Go watch Brock versus Rey Mysterio and copy it, except give the smaller guy the win. That's all you have to do. Just copy it. They didn't even do that. They decided to show Darby's toughness, which of course means that Brian Cage is weak. And then of course it shits on the rest of the roster, because everybody that Brian Cage beats with these same moves now, it's gonna be like, well, only got a 1 count out of Darby, so I guess it really put him over. Like you can put Darby over. That's not a problem. You didn't have to bury Cage to do it. Didn't have to bury Cage to do it, and they did. And that's exactly what they did. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel. spread the good word of 3 Count Commentaries. I thank you guys very much for your time and patience and energy, and I'll talk to you guys later.